Hi, my name is Charles Smith, and this is Module 1, and the name of the self-assessment is, what do you believe about interpersonal communications? And this assessment can be found on pages 4 and 5 in the text. First, I'm going to talk about the results of the assessment. The assessment involved 6 true and false questions, which 2 questions I answered true and 4 questions I answered false. The 2 questions I answered true for were does more communication make you a better communicator, and should you treat people from different ethnic backgrounds and language barriers different or the same in communication? These results can influence my communication because, for one, you shouldn't treat every person with language barriers the same, and sometimes I find myself doing that. And I guess it was because that's the way I was taught or trained at work. We have a lot of people that speak Spanish, and we're taught to make everything simple or speak in English to them instead of trying to understand what they're saying, which is not a good thing, as I see from my self-assessment. And the other one was communicating longer makes you a better communicator. More communication makes you a better communicator, which I feel like that was true because the more you communicate, the more you talk. It makes you more aware of meanings and codings for words, but which I also found that answer was false because it's not how much you communicate, it's the quality of communication you have, which makes sense because you can have a lot of communication, but it can be poorly done. But if you have a small amount of communication with high quality, then it's a better understanding of how to communicate and what to communicate with people. Finally, some strengths and weaknesses that I'm going to talk about. I found that my strength was that I do understand that conflict is not the end of the world when it comes to communication. Conflict is actually good in communication because it means that people are thinking 2 separate ways and has 2 different perceptions of things. And when they communicate, they can put those perceptions together and not thinking together to come out with a better solution. Another thing was that I did improve on my communication as I start communicating better with others. A strength to me, the more I communicate, the better I get. I find myself, if I don't communicate certain things at work, then I don't do that good. And the weakness was, like I said earlier, treating all people the same from different ethnic backgrounds or different language barriers. I need to work on that, and that was my biggest weakness for this module. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.